New PlayStation 5 games are on the way, offering a mix of different styles and experiences for all kinds of players. These upcoming titles focus on good gameplay, interesting worlds, and content that many players will enjoy. Let's get into it. Saros is a third-person action game that mixes bullet hell, combat, shooting, and roguelite systems, where the player controls Arjun Devraj investigating a lost colony on Carcosa, using a shield that blocks attacks and stores energy to power strong weapons, with upgrades that carry over after each death, while changing environments and stronger enemies appear during eclipses, and collected holograms reveal past events, including time distortion and survivors influenced by a mysterious entity.
This is an SOS from the forward reconnaissance ship Cassiopeia. Our ship has taken...
Directive 8020 is a cinematic sci-fi horror game where a colony ship crew crash lands on Tau Ceti F and must survive against an alien organism that can imitate humans using stealth, quick reactions, and improvised tools to avoid or confront threats inside the ship, while player decisions shape the story through branching paths and multiple endings, with options for solo play or shared control of crew members in cooperative mode.
We need urgent assistance.
They're right behind me! Open the fucking door!
God, it's alive.
Please. Help us. Get me out of here! Or I'm gonna fucking freeze!
It's fucking burning in here! You can't leave me out here!
Please.
Agents must understand a set of rules that will grant them all possible chances to survive. So, take a deep breath.
007 First Light is an action-adventure espionage game where players control a young James Bond during MI6 training, completing missions across different locations using stealth, combat, driving, and gadgets, with flexible approaches that allow silent infiltration or direct action. While the story follows Bond working with a mentor to stop a rogue agent and uncover a conspiracy, alongside replayable missions with modifiers that change objectives and gameplay conditions.
To silently get rid of them. When confronting a whole group of enemies, you may choose a gentler approach.
And hut! Rob Minkley, Crux Magazine.
Bluffing is an art that will serve you well, whether getting caught red-handed
Over here! Looks like a trust fall gone wrong.
or to simply pass through a room under enemies' noses.
Oi, you lads got a faulty coffee machine?
Bluffing consumes instinct and won't be available if a more experienced enemy is nearby. In this scenario, you won't get far without the appropriate gear. Therefore, the second rule is to always come prepared.
Well, what are we waiting for?
MI6 will keep its doors open for you between missions, giving you the chance to catch up with familiar faces, gather intel, and prepare for your next move.
So, your name is Moneypenny.
Now let's not get carried away, James.
QLab, on the lower level, will give you access to a wide range of gadgets.
I like it. Don't change a thing.
Each tool is designed to go unnoticed on the field, but help with maximum efficiency.
Right, follow me. I have something for you.
The Q-Lens will highlight useful information about opportunities and hackable devices. Your Q-Watch should be able to activate these to divert attention, deactivate cameras, or get rid of unsuspicious enemies in creative ways. The dot phone can quietly move enemies out of the way. The smoke pod, a timeless classic, will block visibility at short range. The modified earbuds will produce a flash of light to stun opponents. Other gadgets will be developed in due time and will help you stay creative in all circumstances.
Who do you work for? Take the shot!
Knowing how to improvise is a matter of life and death in the midst of action. Any object at disposal could prove useful to put an enemy's ideas back in their place. The same could be said of guardrails, electrical panels, or any surface hard enough to act as a weapon. Under heated circumstances, MI6 grants you a license to kill, allowing for even more possibilities to get rid of hostiles. In these situations, any weapon could be used as long as you manage to obtain it. Switch between different playstyles to catch your attackers off guard, and don't forget to return what you borrowed once out of ammo. some enemies will be harder to defeat, and gadgets will help you get rid of soldiers' armors, stun tenacious leaders, and defuse grenades with the simple press of a button from your watch. Focus training will also give you an edge over your enemies. Dilate time and incapacitate their legs, or disarm them with the precision of a marksman. All of these skills might be trained between missions in Taksim, the department of Dr. Selena Tan.
Welcome to my dream factory.
Taksim will put your skills to the test through multiple types of challenges, each with its own specific rules that will pitch your performance against those of other agents from around the world. Overcoming challenges will earn you experience points, which you can spend on gadget upgrades, new firearms, and unique outfits to defeat enemies in style. And remember, at IO Interactive, the launch of a game is only the start. New content for Taksim will be created over time.
Faster, James. Faster.
So, keep an eye out for our updates, and get ready as new challenges lie ahead to put your 00 skills to the test. Finally, one last unwritten rule might be that an agent is never as good as when surrounded by allies, a team ready to give its all in the field, and companions to defend. But we're pretty sure you'll figure out this part yourself when the time comes. See you on May 27 to join the program and discover Bond's adventures in 007 First Light.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Smith.
LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight is an action-adventure game that follows Bruce Wayne's rise into Batman, featuring open-world Gotham City where players use combat combos, stealth, and detective skills to stop crime, while driving Batmobiles and using traversal like grappling and gliding with multiple playable allies and villains, story missions based on key events, and optional activities across locations such as Arkham Asylum and Wayne Tower.
An incredible open-world Gotham City and an epic, era-spanning Batman adventure that can only exist in a LEGO world. Today, for the first time, we're taking you deep underneath Wayne Manor. The Batcave. It starts as little more than a hole in the ground, filled with bats. Bats and the stuff left behind by bats. And also fear. But as Batman learns to use that fear and grows into a Gotham City legend, the Batcave grows along with him. Over the course of our story, you'll excavate and expand the Batcave. It's the base of all Batman operations, where you'll build your collection of Batsuits and the ultimate garage of Batmobiles. You'll upgrade your gadgets and skills. You'll exhibit trophies from your adventures and adversaries, and you can really make the place your own by collecting and building a huge variety of LEGO furnishings and equipment.
Muscle.
LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight features capes, cowls, and costumes from every Batman era. From 0 year to 89. From Bronze Age to Dark Knight, you can even assume the identity of Zur-En-Arr. Or this guy. The Bat Computer.
Hey, whoa, wait a minute, you can't...
Batman's supercharged repository for all his case files, progress data, and screensavers. Keep track of your collectibles. And make sure you found those last Wayne Tech chips. Batman does love his toys and has the resources to fight crime with the Waynest of tech. Grapple over to the workbench and upgrade your gadgets. Throw a concussive batarang that disorientates every wrongdoer in the area. Or upgrade your Batclaw to turn your enemies into minifigure wrecking balls.
Who are you?
There are dozens of new options here. Be a good partner in crime fighting and upgrade your allies' equipment too.
Meow.
And of course, every Batcave needs an amazing collection of vehicles. LEGO Batman gives you the garage of your dreams. The Batmobile from The Batman, the 1966 classic. The Dark Knight Batpod, the Tumbler, and many more. Race, blast, drift, and crash your way down the dark streets of Gotham City. Then, if you need a minute after a long night of crime fighting, you can relax with some pinball. Or a Lego Batman the video game. Or just... Become Batman. Defend Gotham City. Build the legacy.
Congratulations, citizens of planet Earth!
Marvel Tōkon Fighting Souls is a 4v4 tag team fighting game with anime-style visuals where players build teams of 4 characters and use fast combo systems with assists, rush attacks, and a skill gauge for special and ultimate moves alongside mechanics like armor-breaking strikes and defensive crossovers with both simple and traditional controls, a roster of 20 characters, dynamic stages such as Wakanda and New York, and a story mode presented in motion comic format.
Marvel!
Bye-bye! Thanks for giving me the chance, Spidey. You're up against the defender of Jersey City herself.
Look out! Equip! Mr. Spaceman! Boom! The legendary outlaw is on the scene. Rocket boots? Kick it! Then, yeah! Nothing like a barbecue. Let's tag team.
Kapow! Say hi! Who is this person with the amazing robot? Konnichiwa! I'm Penny Parker.
Penny? She's from another universe.
Spider and I are a super fighting team! Gadget launcher!
Can we do this?
Oh, you're the star guy!
It's Star-Lord. Come in, Milano!
Are we in space?
Your chance to shine, kiddo!
This'll do it! Come on, everyone!
I'm in orbit, Quill. Too easy. Bam!
Big fish coming in! Spider, activate!
With great power comes a great beatdown!
Together, we can achieve anything!
Huh.
Phantom Blade Zero is based on Blood, an indie game I made all by myself in like 15 years ago.
Phantom Blade Zero is an action RPG where players control Soul, a warrior with limited time who fights assassins and uncovers a conspiracy using fast martial arts combat with over 30 weapons and unique phantom edges that change attack styles, while defeating enemies unlocks new weapons and techniques, alongside a setting that mixes traditional wuxia themes with mechanical elements and combat inspired by Hong Kong action choreography.
Our own Chinese culture and Chinese wuxia cultures with those cool elements from modern entertainment industry such as steampunk, folklore, and also cosmic horror and such. In doing this, we're going to create something both authentic as well as universal. Our hero Soul was heavily wounded in the heart, so he has only 66 days left to live. With this very limited time, he has to find a way to save himself, as well as finishing his revenge. But on the way, he found out there are some darkness that may destroy the world, and then he changed his priority from saving himself to save the world. But I would say it's neither Souls-like nor hack and slash. We would love to create something in between, something with both the explorations and also fast-paced combat. Some players want accessibilities while the others want challenges. So we will have different difficulty options for both of them. And we want to make each difficulty options unique. The very good thing for PC gamers is they have different ways to experience the game. I think RTX and DLSS 4 are the main features that enhance our game a lot. As a small team, these technologies can get us the top level of graphics. The rain is one of our core environmental features, so having a convincing presentation of anything in the rain is important. And also we have a lot of surrealism scenes that needs to be done in a very unique way, so we count on ray tracing system for this. It's difficult to maintain the frame rate while you have a top-notch graphic. So DLSS 4 and other NVIDIA technologies support us to get a stable frame rate while getting the best graphic.
Been fighting longer than I can remember.
Marvel's Wolverine is an action-adventure game centered on Logan, a mutant with retractable claws, heightened senses, and a rapid healing ability. Using close combat and aggressive attacks to defeat enemies, with encounters involving characters such as Mystique, Omega Red, and Sentinels, while the story connects with other Marvel titles from the same studio and presents a standalone narrative based on comic lore and established character history.
But I'd be lying. Doesn't matter where I go. How far I run. Death's always waiting. Just not for me. I ain't no hero. I'm Wolverine.
Proudly presents the latest all-new entry to the Onimusha swordplay action series.
Onimusha Way of the Sword is an action game set in Edo-era Kyoto, where players control a samurai using sword combat to defeat Genma creatures across stages filled with danger, while the Oni Gauntlet grants powers to absorb energy and strengthen attacks, alongside encounters in areas affected by malice, with progression tied to battles and uncovering the purpose behind the warrior's fight through a dark fantasy setting.
A lone samurai, Miyamoto Musashi.
Let's see your best, then, eh?
Musashi set out on his journey with a simple goal: master the sword and stand peerless above all swordsmen. But the Genma had other plans. Musashi is struck down, but finds himself revived with an Oni Gauntlet on his arm. Now, Musashi has a new goal: rise up against the monstrous Genma ravaging the land, and carve himself a new fate. But his path is not a lonesome one. A vibrant cast of allies awaits.
Musashi!
And his old rival, Sasaki Ganryu, stands firmly in his way. With blade in hand and fate in the balance, will Musashi's bloody battles against formidable foes deliver him hope or despair? Kyoto's history is abound with many strange tales and unsettling mysteries, and you can experience strands of these hidden legends woven throughout the story. Feel the ring of steel on steel, intense duels. Reduce enemies to pieces with a devastating Isen. Parry and deflect attacks with well-timed blocks to turn the tide of battle in your favor. And, of course, absorb souls with the Oni Gauntlet to recover health or ready powerful abilities. Moving from one bloody and desperate battle to the next, Musashi searches for his reason to fight. What answers will he find at the end of his blade? Miyamoto Musashi walks the perilous path of the Onimusha. And on it, a new legend will be forged.
Fable is an open-world action RPG where players create a hero and shape their path through choices that affect reputation and relationships, using melee, ranged, and magic combat against enemies like bandits and creatures, while activities such as owning property, forming relationships, and raising a family influence how the world reacts, with progression tied to decisions that change interactions with characters and outcomes across the land of Albion. The Blood of Dawnwalker is an open-world action RPG set in 14th century Europe where players control Tōkon, shifting between human by day and vampire by night, using different abilities in each state for combat and movement, while decisions shape the story and world reactions, with time advancing during quests that limits available choices, alongside combat using weapons, magic, and supernatural powers to protect family or pursue revenge.
Family.
Jesus. The coronation. It's in 30 days.
So Princess wants to be a prince now. And mark the occasion with my family's blood.
Brensis will rip you to shreds. There might be another way. If you are to stand a chance, you need to prepare. You need to take risks. Find allies.
I have no love for Princess's regime. He is a vile monster.
Some have already taken up arms, haven't they?
A Vrakir joining the rebellion? Are you serious? What on earth are you?
It's as if the Vrakir in you is dormant during the day and awakens with nightfall.
You're not the only one wanting to see Brensis turn to ash. We're in for a rough time. Follow me and do your best to survive.
It's easy to go a step too far. Go down a path you can't turn back from.
I think it's high time you tell me what the hell is going on.
In the end, it's every man for himself.
As I see it, we're both far beyond redemption.
Doesn't mean we should kill people on a whim.
I'm just trying to save my family.
Good. Bad. Fairy tales. People tell themselves to preserve their sanity.
Tides of Annihilation is an action-adventure game set in a ruined London where players control Gwendolyn fighting otherworldly enemies using combat abilities and support from spectral knights, with a system that allows selecting and combining different knight skills for varied strategies, while large-scale battles against giant enemies involve climbing and attacking their bodies, alongside a story that reveals the cause of the invasion and the state of the city. Stranger Than Heaven is an action-adventure game set across 5 eras of Japan, where players follow Mako Daido through a long-spanning story, using melee combat and brawling systems alongside decision-making elements, with environments changing across different time periods and cities, while additional activities such as arm wrestling appear as side content, and the structure connects events across decades with a consistent character focus.
This is a technological showcase set in the world of The Witcher 4.
The Witcher 4 is an action RPG where players control Ciri, a monster hunter traveling across a large open world using sword combat and abilities while moving on foot or by summoning her horse, with regions such as Kovir included, alongside new areas and systems designed for flexible character builds, varied encounters, and choices that affect story events, while continuing the series' narrative with a new protagonist.
In a game. Right now, Ciri is investigating a monster, and after gathering new clues, she is heading back to a nearby village. All right, everyone, meet Kelpie.
Let weeds be weeds, Kelpie.
So just like Geralt had Roach, Ciri has her own loyal companion.
We return to town.
These two characters need to feel like one. Since you're gonna explore the world on horseback, riding needs to feel seamless, natural, and just fun.
Yeah, and to support that, we're introducing multi-character motion matching in Unreal. So Ciri and Kelpie, they're perfectly synchronized when mounting from any angle and speed. And we also support root motion movement on Kelpie, so controlling her feels realistic and grounded. And there are also some really nice improvements to our Unreal Chaos Flesh Solver and these machine-learned deformations. So you've got realistic muscles moving and stretching under Kelpie's skin without compromising the performance there.
So let's leave Ciri behind for a second and talk about the world itself. So much of the Witcher world is natural, organic, especially Kovir with its dense forest and wild nature.
Yeah, and wild nature is hard. And with nanite geometry, we've freed artists from so many of their old constraints. But we don't want to rest until everything we do in Unreal has that same spirit of freedom. There's always more work to do. And foliage is a huge piece of that puzzle. So we are excited to introduce nanite foliage. And in order to achieve gorgeous foliage density everywhere, while still being memory efficient, fast to render, we believe that a new idea was needed. So instead of the same card approach we've been using for the past 20 years, artists should be free to take a nanite approach to foliage, modeling every single leaf and pine needle. And the old LOD tricks of the past, they needed a complete rethink. And in their place, it's a new adaptive voxel representation in nanite. It's volumetric, it's fully 3D, it is super fast to render. And these dense clusters of triangles turn into these cubes, which at a distance, they're no larger than a pixel, and they react to the changing light of our dynamic sun and our shadows, and they allow artists to render whatever amount of foliage is needed to achieve their vision without compromise.
And no compromise means how ambitious we are when it comes to bringing our vision to life with incredible visuals. But more than that, together with Epic, we created faster way to load the world. We can now bring in more content more quickly for the smoothest possible experience as we fly down to catch up with Ciri. Welcome to Valdrest. So Valdrest is a port town, a hub for fishing, trade, and mining. It's one of those places where you can meet shady characters or overhear gossip from other lands. It's also where Ciri took on her current contract. High-tech, let's leave Kelpie here and explore the marketplace and food. I'm so excited we can finally show you some of this stuff. Let's see what Valdrest has to offer.
Not her again.
Present him with a fish. For the furry rascal will often wait, and the bear's weight grants good fortune.
Pardon.
Guys, notice how responsive the world is. Character actions directly affect what happens around you, sometimes even setting off chain reactions. Everything is working together. Oh, look at this poor gentleman being taught how to fly by an angry innkeeper. That's what happens when you cheat at Gwent.
Last of it, is it?
Okay, so this is the guy who gave the series quest his own. Like you probably suspect, he has his own agenda in all of this.
You're off your tits again, Wilfred. Get your ass up.
A typical day's toil.
Who in? Ah, Witcheress. What news of my wagons? No eternity is taking that damn salt to arrive.
I found them. And, well, suffice to say, they'll not reach you. As for the salt, I found not one speck. I presume this comes as no surprise to you. Now. Kavir's smuggling trade is of no concern to me.
Shush, shush, shush.
The manticore that flattened your cart and devoured your men, quite the opposite.
Manticore? No, them winged hellspawn dwell in the arse end of Creighton, not here.
While Siri decides what to do about that merchant, let's take a look at the character technology that powers this marketplace. Why don't we listen in on these fishmongers? They're selling their wares, chatting up customers.
Morning, catch this is. Won't find none fresher.
Rugged me ladies after one of them.
Get this cleaned and gutted for you. You mind, dearest? Into seeing something more. Got mackerel cod, all Braxton's finest.
And there is tons of tech to play here, even in this simple market stall. Metahuman tools, improved Unreal smart objects, chaos cloth, and more.
Yeah, and all of this exists to make sure that the gap in quality between Siri and NPCs is as small as possible.
Yeah, and closing that gap, it's not just about fidelity, right, but also authenticity. They should react to changes in the world around them.
But the prisoner in Pillory isn't exciting enough for Valdrest. Let's grab everyone's attention with a circus. But the great performance deserves a huge crowd though. Let's crank it up.
So you are seeing tons of optimizations here to many of Unreal systems, including an entirely new Unreal animation framework, allowing us to fit easily in our 60 FPS budget, not just in rendering, but also with room to spare on the game thread. Over 300 animated skeletal mesh agents all going about their business. And the whole point is to leave breathing room for developers like you to introduce the gameplay and the systems that your players expect, empowering you to make your worlds come to life without Unreal standing in your way.
You are right. That's the open world RPG that we're making. But before we wrap up, how about one final check-in with Siri? We are making this game to be the most immersive and ambitious open world Witcher game ever. And we are making this a reality thanks to our work on Unreal with the team at Epic. I think what we are doing together is going to bring in a new generation of open world RPGs, and I'm so proud of what we accomplished so far.
We are too.
So we're almost done, but before we go, here's a small gift for all Witcher fans. A first look at Lanexeter.
Onward, Kelpie. We've worked.
Thanks, guys. Seriously, it looks amazing. And we've also barely scratched the surface of what's coming in Unreal 5.6. So here's Julien to tell you even more. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Hey everyone, great to be here in Orlando. I spent a lot of time on this demo, so I'm happy to be the one to talk about what went into the 5.6 release. An open world like that was just the perfect content to focus on our main goal for the release, which was performance. We want the engine to scale to large and rich worlds. We want to preserve graphics quality. And of course, we want to deliver high frame rates that you and your players expect. So let's check it out, starting with rendering. If you all remember, when we released Nanite with UE5, it supported static geometry. Last year, we brought skinning to Nanite. And now, we're working on Nanite foliage. The only way to have a forest that looks as good as this one is to use 3D geometry for all parts of the trees, just like we do for everything else. However, this is a crazy amount of fine geometry, so we had to rethink how trees are created and displayed. To create them, we developed Nanite assemblies. These 28 little parts that you see are all that we use to build all the spruces from the forest. They are instanced thousands of times and used like building blocks to assemble trees in different ways. And as you probably noticed with the wind effect, they even support skeletal animation, which runs on the GPU. Thanks to assembly, we greatly reduce the storage, the runtime memory, and the rendering cost. Then, to display an entire forest, the challenge was to preserve fidelity and performance from any distance. Let's check up close the level of detail we're talking about here. Lots of details. But this triangle representation is not the most efficient when far away, due to the amount of overlapping. And that's why we made an adaptive voxel representation. But in reality, you'll never see those voxels this close, since when we move the camera back, they're barely a pixel. Nanite foliage is almost done. We are moving it to the main line as we speak, and it will be available for everyone in 5.7. Another thing I would like to share is that ray tracing and lumen now run more than twice as fast, with no visual trade-off compared to when UE5 was released. And because of that, we can now hit 60 FPS on consoles. And finally, we rewrote the rendering pipeline to run asynchronously so you can increase the richness of your scenes even more. Now let's talk about chaos physics. For chaos cloth, we improve our cloth-to-cloth constraint solution. This removes a lot of collision evaluation when garments are piling up and interacting with each other. Even for complex setup like Series Cape, we hit a sub-millisecond budget on PS5. With Chaos Flesh, we introduce procedural muscle activations to make deformation and motion more natural. Your artist will still have control over tetrahedral simulation and train ML models that run fast in real time. We now support the baking of fluid surface data into lightweight assets to be played back at low cost. This is going to give you high-fidelity water without the performance cost of real-time fluid simulation. For animation, we work on both performance and fidelity. Here, you can see how Siri and Kelpie match up in their interaction. Well, that works no matter the angle of approach. That's our Modes character motion matching solution. We also added motion matching in Sequencer to build stitch tracks. With them, you can seamlessly transition from gameplay to cinematic. Also, we now have a secondary layer of animation driven by physics in Control Rig. We used it in Kelpie's rig to drive the mane, the tail, and the saddlebacks. And now, I'm happy to announce that all these features are already integrated into our new Unreal Animation framework, which we are releasing as experimental in 5.6. We built it with performance first in mind. Animation evaluation are now running in parallel off the game thread, which was our bottleneck. And for the other character systems that are just as costly, like movement, avoidance, state tree behaviors, we also move them to worker threads. This is really going to help you create scenes that are crowded and lively. Streaming has always been a big deal regarding performance. And the three biggest improvements we made are physics state creation, which now runs async, improved runtime PCG for ground scatter on GPU, and a new FastGeo plugin to stream static geometry. And just to take a different example, in City Sample, the streaming time was cut down by 90% while moving at high speed. We focus on a lot of areas for performance in 5.6, and mobile is no exception. We work on better defaults and scalability settings for mobile and minimize the default package size. We also improve our workflows with a UI refactor of the viewport toolbar and content browser, an on-device iteration workflow, and a mobile preview solution. So there you go. Unreal Engine 5.6 is all about performance, and it's available today. Please go enjoy the tech talks and session we have for you guys, and come chat with us.
Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet, is an action-adventure game set in a distant future, where players control bounty hunter Jordan A. Munn stranded on a remote planet while tracking a criminal syndicate, using combat against hostile robots and navigating isolated environments, while uncovering the planet's history and a fictional religion tied to its people, with gameplay centered on survival, investigation, and progressing through a world cut off from outside contact.
Tell me something good.
Well, you're right, it checks out. He's hiding out around the Superior Moon.
Excellent.
How is that excellent? He's next to fucking Superior. No one has left that planet in over 600 years. Anyone who even flies close to it is never heard from again.
Superstitions.
No. Superstitions are the crazy rumors about what happened on that planet. These are facts.
You worry too much.
You know what I worry just to write about? I say we wait for him to leave, or how about we find a new lead? He's not worth it. I'm wasting my time, aren't I?
Can you please claim him? I don't need another hunter swooping in.
Who is swooping? No one is crazy enough to go there.
He clearly is.
He is clearly desperate.
And so am I, so claim him, or I will find another agent.
Anyone else with all your fucking shit? Okay, alright, you know what? There, you're the boss.
Thank you.
Listen, kid. I'll see you on the other side.
doing up there?
I'm just fixing some leaks.
Seriously?
Grand Theft Auto 6 is an action-adventure game set in the open-world state of Leonida, where players control Jason and Lucia, a criminal duo involved in heists and illegal activities, using driving, shooting, and mission-based gameplay across locations, including Vice City, while the story involves a failed robbery leading to a wider conspiracy, with side characters, dynamic events, and satirical elements reflecting modern culture and social media.
I'm here for Lucia Caminos. She's supposed to be getting out.
What's your name?
Jason Duval.
I seen you here before.
You might have. Hey.
Hey.
Hands above your head, now!
You, stay. The new beginnings.
You break the news, isn't it? Trust me, this place is just the start for us.
Ring the bell! Shop ready!
The only thing that matters is who you know and what you got.
Gotta do this. We're doing it right.
Yo, D, this full effect? They got your name, address, they got everything. Us cops, we gotta protect each other.
Like, back!
You and me, bro. We got this.
We got it.
Say my city, baby! I said city!
Come to build Annihilation today. We got more guns than a law allows.
Hey.
Hey, if you got friends, can you hook me up, please?